Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks. It's Monday, which means today is the news at Sticks. I'm Dan.
I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
Welcome back. We are back. It's been a little while because we didn't release last week the news.
No, we didn't. No, it's been a while since we've done it. It's been all over Christmas either.
No,
We didn't.
We were
People-
too busy
No news.
doing things.
No news is good news, as they say.
Oh,
People have been lacking in useless news from primarily useless sources.
Mainly us.
We've got a big one this week. A big one, guys.
It's so big.
This is very in keeping with the after Christmas feel that we've.
Big like my belly.
Yes, indeed, and it does involve your belly as
Does
well.
it? My belly
does.
particularly, or?
All of our bellies.
Okay.
Oh my.
What I have here is something which has been causing a stir on social media over the last week or two, I
What
suppose.
doesn't cause a stir on social
Well,
media?
yeah, that is a very good question, Dominic. So maybe we should look into that.
Yes.
This podcast, for one, something.
There must be something inherent in this podcast.
Something. Sorry, it is the opposite of viral is
Yes.
what we are. It's the very opposite.
And on that subject, if you do fancy sharing or commenting or doing anything, getting involved with us, please head to our social media pages.
Social media.
Go on down. I'm
So
interested.
this
My belly's
is-
gurgling at the
MySpace.
thought.
This is a very popular British company have posted out a recipe. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a fairly unusual recipe.
Right.
So I'll read you the without actually revealing the company name.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read you what they say about the recipe, and then I'll read you the recipe, and then I'll reveal to you at the end what the strange ingredient is.
Right.
Benedict's eggs is what this recipe is called.
I thought it was Eggs Benedict.
It is. Eggs Benedict is originally an American breakfast, but we've made it British by switching a muffin for another ingredient. As an occasional treat, this breakfast will brighten up those winter mornings, and the food in question is a healthy source of iron and fibre to complement the protein in eggs. So this recipe is obviously, I assume you guys have both eaten Eggs Benedict at
Yes,
some
I
point.
have.
No.
Very nice.
Yep.
Highly recommend. What you're going to need is you're going to need a couple of poached eggs. Usually what you have it, all of this on a muffin.
Right.
So this recipe is going to have a couple of poached eggs.
Right.
You've got a couple of slices of thinly sliced ham, which I think it's supposed to be something a bit better than ham, isn't it? Like,
Steak.
Is it supposed to be like that? Like Parma ham and
yeah,
stuff?
I
Well,
think so.
or thick piece of gammon.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, gammon's very English, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
an American thing, wasn't
So
it?
you got some ham on there, and then basically you cover those and your base with hollandaise sauce.
Right. Yes, I do know of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the base that they're proposing is 2 Weetabix.
I thought it was going to be black pudding or something weird.
I thought it was going to be crumpets.
As opposed to having some delicious breakfast muffins with your Eggs Benedict, Weetabix, which are Is
Weetabix is only okay when it's not crispy.
is Weetabix an international brand? I'm not sure.
Weetabix, they have Weetabix in
So
America.
it's like they're kind of like little pucks of wheat, dried wheat.
And they weigh literally nothing when you lift them.
Yeah.
And they come in a tube, like a tube packet,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah. So
And
Yeah,
if you
Weetabix
don't
is
put
fine.
anything with them, they taste just like cardboard.
yes, yeah.
A little
They're,
bit of sugar on top.
so they're
A little
proposing
bit of milk, little sugar.
Yeah.
they're proposing Weetabix Eggs Benedict, which I thought is unusual, but you know,
For me, it's a no-go, Dan.
I
I don't think
good.
I can handle
I'd
that.
eat it.
I would probably eat it. The thing is that as you say, Weetabix is rubbish when it's crispy.
Yeah, and that's it. And if the egg doesn't cover all of it, then
Yeah,
you've
but
got
you
some
got the
shit
hollandaise
bits.
sauce. That's gonna.
It doesn't
Do you know-
soak in like milk, though,
Do
does
you know
it?
how I eat Weetabix though? I'm one of these people that like I cover it in milk, put a little bit of sugar on, whack it in the microwave, and then make it into like a paste.
That's basically wheat
Yeah.
porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're having porridge, aren't you?
It's bloody delicious. I used
Yeah.
to have that every morning before school.
Really?
I mean, I don't eat breakfast now, but
Do you not?
no, never.
Well,
I don't eat-
Important meal of the day.
That is actually an incorrect fact.
Is it?
I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna send it.
It changes so often, Dom. You can't.
I'm gonna
keep up.
send in
You know
an
what?
instantaneous
One minute
Dom
red
plane.
wine gives you cancer. The next minute is good for you. I don't care.
Well, there's this. Well, speaking of diets, there's this new kind of like fad. I don't know if you call it a fad. Probably is a fad at the moment to do this 8-16 diet, isn't it?
What's 8-16?
So basically, you have
You can tell who in the room cares about their health.
you have a
The guy with the giant bottle of water.
you have an 8-hour period during the day where you eat, and then the other 16 hours you do not eat.
Right.
So you just have a window, and that is when you have to have all of your meals.
See, similar. I've done paleo before.
Yeah.
Which is just anything that the Paleolithic man could get his hands on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
meat, veg. No, you can't eat bananas. You can't eat.
Apparently, it was quite bad for you.
Yeah, but if you did that properly, you were supposed to eat once a day, like massive meal, but
Right.
once. Because like the caveman would go out hunting all day long, and then he'd get his big meal, he'd sit and eat it, and then
I believe that the 8-16 diet consists of like having a commonsensical diet anyway. Like, your window doesn't open and then you eat 8 hours of pudding.
yeah,
You know, it is like
What a shame.
it is like, but it,
I have eaten 8 hours of pudding before.
but I think it seems to me to encourage kind of this quite popular way of eating now is to eat little and often.
Yeah, that's for a long time. That's been the best way to eat. It's
yeah.
very difficult, isn't it?
But I kind of discovered this diet the other day because I saw Terry Crews talking about it.
Oh, if Terry Crews has done it, then it's amazing.
And because he was saying that his window opens at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and he kind of just eats all the way up to 10:00 at night,
yeah,
but doesn't go to bed until fairly late.
yeah. But they've also said recently that eating before bed makes absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
Your body just carries on churning through it like
But-
it
I
would.
always thought that.
But then recently it was on a TV show, and the guy that really sort of who's becoming quite famous, who's like the trainer to the stars, did like did Hugh Jackman and like basically any sort of Hollywood
You can say Wolverine.
Wolverine.
People are going to know who.
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
He's ripped.
Yeah, right, for like a 50-something-year-old dude as well.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, God,
But
he is in
So he's been getting them all of these sort of like, you know, they you know, I think it essentially seems to be any film that goes through Pinewood Studios that needs someone to be a bit ripped in it goes to this guy as like a personal trainer. Obviously, there is still the element of working out and having a strict workout routine as well.
And you have to have a dietitian and all that, don't you?
But the diet that he recommends for them is this 8-16 diet,
Yeah.
which kind of works well for me because I never eat breakfast, and then I don't ever eat until like 1:30, maybe even 2:00 in the afternoon.
I'm the same as you actually. I don't
then-
have an appetite until about lunchtime, and I don't have an appetite until I eat something normally.
But interestingly, I saw Terry Crews saying that he just doesn't get hungry in the mornings now. But I haven't eaten breakfast in so long that I no longer wake up hungry. I get hungry. The first time my stomach will rumble is maybe 11:30, and then I'll just eat when I get the chance to eat, which is usually some point between 12 and 1:30, 2:00.
The reason I've packed on a lot of weight recently is because I know that the first thing you eat is quite important, isn't it? If you have to eat something to kind of kick your metabolism off, I would have a Dr. Pepper for breakfast and a Mars bar most days.
I started
working
having
on it,
that coffee thing for breakfast.
Coffee.
The butter coffee.
What was that? Coffee with butter in it?
Yeah, instead of milk, you
Fucking hell.
use like a tablespoon or two of butter and put some coconut. What's it called? That coconut like oil stuff.
Coconut milk?
No,
No.
not the milk. It's like
It's
like
called
coconut oil.
Yeah.
Whack that in there, yeah, because it's quite a lot of like protein. It's like a good breakfast. Plus, it perks you up. I don't actually know whether that. I can't recommend that as a healthy thing. I just started doing it because I have a coffee in the morning, and I kind of thought, well, this will, you know, I won't need breakfast because you know that's sort of myths around fats and things like that. You know, like fat is actually good for you.
Yeah.
You have to have fat in
It's
the diet.
sugar that you got to avoid.
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
that. It's the
sugar is the
enemy,
demon.
right?
the processed shit that's not so good for you.
Have you seen that?
But it kind of harks back to that, like your paleo thing. The whole point of that paleo thing is that, like,
It is no
you
sugar.
know, it's the natural thing to do, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, if you're going to drink milk, just drink full fat milk. If you're going to eat cheese, eat full fat cheese. Don't, you know, it's all the created chemicals and shit that are bad for you.
I lost 1.5 stone in 2 weeks. That's mental amount of weight. That's like unhealthy amount of weight to lose.
Yeah, I can imagine that was just through shitting.
That just through shitting. 1.5 stone in 2 weeks. But it was just a miserable way of life.
Really, because all the meat and veg sounds fucking great to me.
I would like just for snacks. I would just eat some bits of chicken.
Yeah,
and then
but
I'd
I
eat
do.
some, like-
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
nice.
kind of what I do.
It was okay, but God, I love sugar.
Yeah. See, I'm not really fussed about sugar. Recently, I've been eating a lot of sugar because it's been Christmas and my birthday. So, and it's like the done thing, isn't it? To
my diet started.
Present people with sugary treats.
Yesterday morning, my diet started, but I've been having plain chicken and brown rice for lunch. And not getting hungry. I'm not hungry now. I had that at 12 today, and I'm not hungry.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't do plain foods. I can't do chicken and rice.
I have to force it down my throat.
I'd have to cover it as so much
put a little bit of chili oil
sauce.
on it. I put a bit of chili oil on it. Yeah, that's all right. But
so I quite like fish. I get on with fish.
Yeah,
I'll do like, if I do actually have time to prepare lunch, I will get one of those entire bags full of salmon fillets.
Oh,
just put a bit of salt and pepper on it.
Yeah.
Stick it in the oven for half an hour.
I bought loads of Tupperware as well. Put them in so I've loaded loads of Tupperware up in the fridge for the week.
Stick it in some foil to keep it nice and moist, and then I'll take a fillet of salmon to work every day.
What I found today is I've added some spring rolls to that just for a bit of flavour.
Oh, nice.
The vegetable spring rolls haven't really got anything bad in them. So.
What about the batter?
Pastry.
Yeah, it's so thin. Yeah. It's so thin. I'm letting myself get away with that just so I don't kill myself.
Pastry, isn't it?
Yeah. So my question for you for today's news was, what are your weird? Do you have any weird eating habits?
The fact I have a Dr. Pepper and a Mars bar for breakfast.
I think we've exposed your weird eating habits already.
If I'm working, that was every day. I would have that. I'd get to the train station, get Dr. Pepper and a Mars bar duo, and I'd eat that on the train on the way up.
It's instant though, isn't it? That sugar, it's the instant up.
I'm down, and then I'm up, and then by the time I get to work, I'm down again.
I'm feeling really shitty this evening because I got to work. I was quite late into work today, and it was my birthday the other day. My grandma made me some brownies, so I brought
hash brownies.
No, I brought some salted caramel brownies into work to share. Got to work a little bit late, about 10 minutes before lunch, and I keep some rolls here and some butter and some sandwich fillings and stuff like that. But I got here really too late to get it out the freezer, so my roll, come lunchtime when I was hungry, wasn't thawed. So it was either eat a frozen roll with some sandwich fillings or just see myself through with a brownie. And those brownies are fucking dense. They're
I would see myself through a brownie if I was you.
They baked mates brownies?
No. My grandma's brownies.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
She made them.
The only ones that are better than baked mates brownies.
I heard that part of the story.
Just not listening again.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
You never listen to me, Dom. You never listen to me anymore.
No, I never listened to...
Communication is the key to this relationship, and I think it's breaking down.
I know. I'm sorry. I've got a lot on my mind.
Look, if I think I'm going to start seeing other people.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to start appearing on other podcasts.
Where does this leave me?
In the middle somewhere.
Yeah. I've told you, Ross.
Like a child.
We're only friends.
Like a child of divorce, Ross. We'll get you on the pod. We'll get you on our own side project.
Yeah.
And shower you.
You're going to be going between podcasts all the time.
You can both stand either side of a room and call me, see which one I go to.
Yeah. It's going to be a lengthy legal battle for whose podcast you are permanently on and whose you guest on.
Yeah.
Can I just be permanent on both?
So
no, that's not how it works.
So I had a brownie before lunch, thinking that it would see everything, but these things are like neutron star dense.
Yeah.
Like a teaspoon of it weighs more than a man. No, because the thing is that then that saw me through, and then it ended up being 2:30, and I thought, well, I'm not going to have lunch now. I'll just have another brownie. And then now I've completely crashed.
Yep.
I'm on a full downer now.
And you've got nothing in you.
Got nothing in me. No actual food. Just grandma's brownie.
Energy.
So basically, essentially, what
exactly.
what I'm living on is probably about 3 kilos of sugar, a little bit of flour, chocolate, and love.
Yes.
Love can see you through the day, Dan.
Yes. Love is all you need.
See, communication. I'm trying to think if I have any weird eating habits. I don't think I do. I just sort of eat a fair amount.
You suck the salsa out of the pots.
Oh yeah, that's
I do something. Actually, I haven't done that in a very long time.
That's because we haven't been in a long time.
Weatherspoons. Do they even do them in those little?
No, they don't. Anymore. I think you get a ceramic dish, which you could still probably consume if you want.
I'll just have to lick that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 fingers in, round the sides. Oh.
Yeah, that was an odd thing that you used to do.
You still there and go, are you gonna eat that? What, the salsa in a pot? Yeah. Can I have it? Yeah.
I'm a big fan of condiments.
He also used to sometimes, like if we went to Nando's, would turn up and scope out my chicken carcass. That would go fish, like like in cartoons, like when you see the cat eating the bone,
because I don't like fish.
the bones of the fish.
Yeah.
Head and everything.
The polystyrene dish that the fish and chip shop gave me the chips in.
It's like having a dog at the dinner table, isn't it? It's just like constantly looking for something to hit the ground.
I fed him once and we've been friends for 15 years.
Surely it's not 15 years.
It probably is now, isn't it? Like I was 28 last week. So no, not quite 15 years. 13.
When I met you in about 2009, I think.
Yeah, I think it must have been about 19, 20 when I met you.
It was the end of 2009 that our band started. We met just before that, didn't we, really?
Yeah.
2009, a year of...
It was the winter of 2009.
Probably was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I was cold and alone and I met Dan.
Yeah, because our first gig was in April 2010.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah, it must have been the summer that I started working at your place then.
Mm.
Wow. What a long time ago. How old we have gotten.
Yeah.
How old we all are now.
You know.
Right?
Yes.
Looking back fondly on our days of wreaking havoc, eating salsa from pots, eating Wetherspoon's burgers as opposed to toiling over an 816 diet. Of course, my preferred diet is the Austin 316 diet, where you eat and then he comes and stone cold stunners you, so you vomit everything back up.
You eat for 16 hours and he beats you up for 3.
Yeah.
It's an extreme version of bulimia.
Yeah, beats the food out of you.
Oh my god.
I just wondered if you had any strange eating habits.
Well, you've heard mine.
I remember once when we were having a bit of a hangover day around your house, because your Dom's little sister Jess and I used to joke because I would be there for like a day at a time, where we would be there during the day, watch some films, do whatever. Then in the evening we would sit around and drink and play board games. And then in the morning, I would be there until lunchtime again. And Jess used to joke that the only time I was offered food was if Jess offered me food. So she would come back in the evening and make me a sandwich. And she would constantly berate Dom for not offering his guests food. And I really particularly remember one morning, one morning, we were all ridiculously hungover. And I was in the kitchen with Dom. His parents were away. We were much younger men. And the fridge was fairly bare. So what Dom did was got an entire pack, one of those plastic cartons of cubed pancetta.
Yeah.
Stuck it in a frying pan. Fried the whole thing up. And I was thinking, what delicacy is he making? Got 2 pieces of bread. Stuck all of the fried pancetta in there and then ate it in front of me. An entire pack of cubed pancetta in bread. That was it.
When I used to eat beans, I used to have a bean sandwich.
Bean sandwich?
Bean sandwich. That's how I used to have beans.
Mushy.
You'd put the base bit of bread down, you'd pour your beans over the top, and then you put the top bit down. And then what I'd do is eat all the excess beans around the edge, and then I'd go in.
Wow.
It would be messy, but it was tasty.
Yeah.
I used to eat spaghetti bolognese in a sandwich.
That's nice.
Oh no, I have that still.
Because when I had my brace, it became harder to eat spaghetti without it getting caught on it, because I had a something called a crossbite, which meant I had a piece of wire sort of pushing my back teeth out that went across the bridge of my mouth but didn't kind of go up to the bridge of my mouth. It went straight across, so I had a big wire sticking across the middle of my mouth.
A trapeze.
Yeah, so I started eating. I'd just get bread and just dish all of the spaghetti into it. Actually, I think I might have told this story before, but a few years after that, after I got my brace removed,
would the spaghetti get hooked around the beam and then you go...
It would do, yeah. It's one of the stories that my mum always tells.
You have to like break it with your finger.
The day that I got my brace, I came home and my loving mother was like, I've made spaghetti, it's nice and soft, so if your teeth are kind of like hurting, because I don't know if you didn't ever have a brace, did you?
It's like when they tightened it was like the creaking of a ship and your teeth just go...
Oh yeah, it was awful.
Your whole head would like pulled in.
I've never had
And then it was even worse for
Yeah.
me because like I had this fucking it was like really thick wire that pushed my back teeth out.
Blimey.
And yeah, she, bless her, she was like, I've made something really soft. It's spaghetti bolognese. And I put it in my mouth and it looped on it. And I was just like, it was one of those things where like I swallowed and half of it went down and half of it was still in my mouth. So it was just at the back of my throat.
Could you not just chop your spaghetti up a bit smaller?
I still do it now,
Yeah.
just out of habit. If I eat any pasta, spaghetti, noodles, anything like that, I sit there for a few minutes, chopping it all up into
Dicing it.
tiny little
Yeah.
pieces. Yes, that's how I had to eat it afterwards. Yeah.
Putting it in the blender.
I can't do the twizzle around the fork anymore. I have to cut it all up and eat it in little
I
mouthfuls.
suppose it would stick in your mind. Like
Yeah. But that's how I eat spaghetti, but I've never had that problem. I bring a bit off to the side, chop it, scoop it, stick it
I'm
in my
a
mouth.
Twizzler.
No, I'm not a Twizzler.
I'm a Twizzler.
I wish I was a Twizzler. That's the proper way to eat spaghetti, isn't it?
It
Supposedly.
is. And then when you get a little bit, then
Yeah. See, I can't do that anymore. It would just
No.
be like a scent to me to a spaghetti.
So one thing, one of my uncles it's always stuck in my mind. When I was quite a bit younger, I don't know, I must have been sort of just going into my teens, must have been about 14, 15. And obviously, when you're growing up, like your uncles, like sort of, like your dad will talk to you about girls and stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, one thing you should never do if you ever take a girl for a date is never have spaghetti. Because of stuff like that. And that's always stuck in my mind. And whenever I've gone out with a girl, including my girlfriend of 5 years, I'll never have anything like spaghetti.
you won't eat spaghetti in front, even now.
Even now.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, I'll have it at home. But like
Yeah.
if we were going out for like a date or something like that, date night.
Oh no, I don't. Because I chop it, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I can have spaghetti.
It must have stuck so hard in my young mind going, this must be a thing.
He must have caught you at that exact age where you were desperate for a girl or something. And
Yeah.
you were like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is a number one rule.
Yeah, number one rule, never eat spaghetti.
Number two, underneath spaghetti, do not get penis out on first date and wave it in her face.
So that's worth me once or twice.
That's top of Dom's to-do list.
Yeah.
How about that?
Just put it
There you
all.
go.
Just put it all on the table. Like
Is that
it's-
the naked man? Is that what they? Is it
Oh,
How I Met Your Mother?
on How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, the naked
guy
man.
tries the naked
yeah.
man. The girl will go out the room and come back and he'd just be totally naked. Like, he'd be like 1 out of 10 times it'll work.
Yeah. 1 out of 10 times it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's tried it 10 times.
And Jem was the only one that went for it.
I can't believe that no one has any like weird eating habits. I thought
Well, I
that.
think we've outlined a few of mine.
Yeah.
I think we do have weird eating habits, but I guess they're not that weird in the grand scheme of things.
No,
we're not
it's-
putting things on Weetabix,
So
are
it's
we?
not. I used to microwave Mars bars and eat them with a spoon.
That's just good practice.
Do you remember when we did that photo shoot and Lee burnt his mouth?
Yes, I do remember that.
We
very well.
were doing a photo shoot. We were trying to make Lee
The Mars bar, yeah, I remember.
trying to make Lee look like he had chocolate around his mush, so he melted it a little bit. He put it around his face and he burnt
Yeah,
himself.
probably 3 minutes at 1,000 watts. It was a little bit too long to melt a little Mars bar. Hotter than the sun.
Actually, saying that, talking about one thing. When I was a kid, I used to get a bit of water, some icing sugar.
Yeah,
Whip it
I've
up and
been
drink
there.
That.
Do you know what? I still eat condensed milk straight from the can as well.
Ooh, that is a lot of sugar.
Yeah. So's a bit of water with some icing sugar.
I'm just saying, yeah. Crikey. Yeah, so that...
I used to like the vinegar out of the pickled onion jar. I used to have a little on that.
What a
Oh,
weird
no, that's actually not weird.
Is it not weird? I thought that was
no,
weird.
I know lots of people that do that.
I was
My mum
ashamed. I used to do that in private because I thought I was ashamed.
My mum will occasionally have a little, like a teaspoon of... Ooh,
Yeah.
it's good for you, a little teaspoon of vinegar.
I drink gravy. Like cups of gravy.
Yeah.
Cups of gravy.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird. But
That
at
is
the
my-
same time, it sounds very pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's lovely. My mum's gravy in particular. My mum makes a really good gravy. So
Sorry.
well, she does a roast dinner. She's got a big saucepan full of gravy. So I'll go out there and everyone's sitting down for dinner and I've just got the ladle and I just sip it and sip it and sip it.
But again, people drink Bovril, and that's essentially...
It is
milk.
basically
That's
just
yeah.
gravy. Yeah.
stock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not as weird. It's kind of weird, but not like mega weird.
Yeah.
Be a bit different if you're eating the foam out of car seats and stuff like that.
Sometimes I have it with gravy, the foam out of car seats.
Yes, I've heard it makes it nice and tender.
Yeah. I like the foam out of car seats like I like my Weetabix, fully saturated.
And in the microwave.
Yes.
Slightly melted. Was that it then?
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Excellent.
And that's it from me.
I bet.
I thought we were back, we're back in the newsroom again.
I better end this podcast before my gravy-filled arteries seize up.
Can hear him creaking from here.
And also before this goes as long as a full-length podcast as well.
How long has it been going for?
25.
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's been the news as sticks for this week. As usual, you can get in contact with us by heading to stickitpod.com. We want to hear your first world problems. And if there is any news that you think pertains to this show that we should be covering, then let us know. You can get in contact with us from the website, on email, or any of our social media channels, which are all on the website. We will be back on Thursday with the main episode. But for this Monday, I have been Dan.
I have been Dom.
I have been Ross.